Yo, whoa, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. But guys, week 2 of the APA, the St. Louis Rampardos are taking on the Philadelphia Soldier in an epic week 2 battle. If you guys missed my match last week, you can check it out in the description below. I took on DeathlyiAm, and unfortunately things did not go as well as we would have liked. It was a tremendous game though, so if you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. I kind of spoiled it already, but it was a really good game, so definitely worth the watch. Kind of came down to the wire there. We're looking to bounce back though after a tough loss and hopefully pick up a W against Ultra. Ultra's apparently a pretty good battler. I've never battled him, but I know that he's excited for this match. He said that he's been wanting to battle me for about 3 years now, so this should be fun. He's got a crazy good team. I put a lot of time into this prep. I've had maybe 10 iterations of this team, and I'm actually really happy with where I'm at. And I want to talk about a few things really quickly before I jump into the team breakdown. So first thing first, hit that like button, man. You guys already know I appreciate the love. But anyway, I got a question today. What do you guys think about Gen 8? I'm recording this before Gen 8 gets announced. I'm hoping Gen 8 gets announced this week. It's Monday right now, the 25th. You guys will see this on, like, I don't know, March 1st or something. I don't know what day it goes up, but a few days from now. But hopefully Gen 8 got revealed and everyone's happy. I don't know, man. Let me know if it did. If it didn't, you could be mad at me because I jinxed it, but I don't think so. So, a couple things I wanted to talk about. I feel like I go through this every season with every league. And, like, first of all, I gotta say you guys are awesome in the comments last week. But people, I was reading my WBE comments and people were just like, man, you look like you're having so much fun. You don't really care about the battles. And I really need to focus on that, man. I just gotta focus on just having a good time and not stressing about battles. And truthfully, I stress when I lose because I, like, in my head, I'm like, if I'm losing, then people aren't gonna wanna watch me and people aren't gonna be excited about the battles. But I really gotta throw that mentality aside. As many battles as I've done, and I've done probably as many Wi-Fi Draft League battles as anyone, I really shouldn't have to worry about that. So I try not to, but I want to win, man. I like to win, and I want to, you know, give you guys good battles and be a good battler for you guys to watch. So we'll see what happens, man. But this one's tough, dude. This is a tough matchup. He's got a crazy good team. So let's talk about it. He's got Mega Charizard X, which my team has pretty much nothing. Like, I have no switch-ins to Mega Charizard X, just to give you an idea. The best thing on my team for Charizard X, if it gets a Dragon Dance up, is Cofagrigus with just 2-shot. That just gives you an idea of how strong this thing is. So Mega Charizard X, it's really a big problem. I gotta get up Stealth Rocks. Zapdos, very annoying because it could have Static, which can paralyze things, so I can't really switch into it or attack it directly because I could get Static. Suicune, very bulky doggo, as you guys probably know. The good news is he probably can't run Calm Mind, Rest, Sleep Talk. Scald, that set's really annoying, but because I have Volcanion, he can't really do that, and I have Tapu Bulu, so I expect if he brings Suicune, it's like a protect, sub, toxic, annoying thing. Florges, of course, can wish and do things like that, kind of support the team. Excadrill, obviously, is another huge threat for my team. I looked at my team, and after my first iteration of my team, I was like, oh my god, I lose to Scarf Excadrill every time. And Scarf Excadrill is really good with Mold Breaker because I don't have any resist, man. Like, Tapu Bulu's good, but it doesn't want to take an Iron Head, and like, yeah, I just have a lot of hard times against Excadrill. Miltank, bulky, normal type that gets Sap Sipper, which is annoying for Tapu Bulu. It also can get Stealth Rock. Chestnut, just a huge physical wall. Again, stops Tapu Bulu, stops Mega Lopunny. It forces me to run. I can't run Shadow Ball or Sludge Bomb on stuff. It's very annoying. Sneasel is incredibly insanely good against my team. Like, I just look at my team, and I know I have a relatively slow team, but Low Kick, Poison Jab, Icicle Crash, Knockoff just obliterates this team. I mean, you just look up and down the lineup, and you're just like, wait a minute. Life Orb Sneasel goes in. Weezing, very bulky, stops Lopunny pretty well, can switch into Bulu. You can see the trend here, man. Espeon, obviously a pretty fast and decent Psychic type with Magic Bounce, and then Deontay, which is another Fairy type, complementary to Florges that can basically set up Stealth Rocks, Trick Room, and hit things with Diamond Star. It's actually pretty bulky too. So you see the 6 that I'm thinking he's gonna bring, but I could see a variation of a lot of things, man. I could see Miltank coming. I could definitely see Sneasel coming. I could definitely see Espeon coming. I think the only thing that I would eliminate here is Deontay, and he's got such a fat team, and he's got so many good things against me, and it really makes my team building difficult. But that's okay. That's what Draft League is all about. It's about trying to, you know, prep for your opponent's team and overcome that. So let's talk about it and let's break down our team and what we're gonna bring here. So, kicking things off, man, I'm kicking off with Sylveon, dude. Bella's coming back. I've got the modest Pixelate Choice Specs. I feel like having a Choice Spec Sylveon this week is really good. If I can get free switch-ins to things like Chestnut or whatever, I just obliterate stuff. Even stuff like Weezing, if he's defensive Weezing, gets 2-shot by Hyper Voice. Suicune gets 2-shot by Hyper Voice. Florges gets 2-shot by Hyper Voice if he's not specially defensive. You can see where I'm going with this thing. It just absolutely wrecks. I got a lot of speed on it for things like Suicune, hoping to outspeed those Pokemon, Florges, etc. But, you know, if this thing can come in and just click Hyper Voice, it could do a lot of damage. I've also got Moonblast on there. You might be like, why are you running Moonblast? Because Sneasel gets Throat Chop. I don't want to be in a situation where he Throat Chops me and I'm stuck, so at least Moonblast gives me kind of an out on that late game. Quick Attack is also there primarily for Sneasel. It's not very strong, but it is a priority move, and my team is pretty slow, so Sneasel's a little bit of a problem, but if I can whittle that thing down with Stealth Rock's Life Orb Recoil, maybe I Revenge Kill it with Quick Attack, and that kind of saves the game for us, but we are choice specs. I'm bringing Tapu Bulu, man, and this is probably the second time ever in Draft League that I'm bringing a neutral nature. Bashful doesn't increase or lower any stats, and that's very strange for me, but I'm running a lot of speed on this thing. Same thing, right? It's for Suicune. It's actually, I think, for Zapdos too. I think we have a, no, definitely for Suicune. I sped crept a lot of things. This thing is very weird, dude. I have Dazzling Gleam, which does 2-shot most Chestnuts. I've got Horn Leech there for Suicune, and then Substitute and Leech Seed, which is there to kind of stall out Weezing and also kind of hit the Zapdos and things like that. This is a little scary though, because it is kind of set up fodder for Charizard, so we have to be careful there. I'm bringing Cofagrigus, which is a defensive set, max HP, max defense, Hex, Toxic Spikes, Memento, Trick Room. Trick Room for Charizard, so I can reverse the speeds in case he sets up on me. It gives me an opportunity to maybe kind of check that thing, because it's so scary. Hex is there because I can't run Shadow Ball because of Chestnut. Toxic Spikes, because even though they're kind of good against this team, they're kind of not good. I've been torn between Willow and Toxic Spikes, but I'm gonna go with Toxic Spikes. I think it's the better option. And Memento is for my setup sweeper, which I'll get to right now. This is the core strategy right here. My sincerest hope is he doesn't, I feel like to win this game, I have to almost trick this dude. And I hope he doesn't bring Sneasel. If he doesn't bring Sneasel, then Musharna can actually just win this game. I've got Grassy Seed, which means that with Grassy Terrain up, I get a defense boost, so I get +1 defense. I can then proceed to start Calm Minding. After 2 Calm Minds, I one-shot Charizard with Store Power. I've got Moonlight there to heal up my health in case I start taking damage. If they run Toxic, I can just Heal Bell that off with Heal Bell. And I've also got Synchronize to pass the Toxic on to things like Suicune or Florges. Really cool set. In my practice games, this actually worked out really, really well. Again, if he brings Sneasel, that's the one hiccup, is if he brings Sneasel, because I can't touch it, but if he doesn't bring Sneasel, this thing can win the game. If I can get Grassy Terrain up, send out Musharna, the 2 main things that stop Tapu Bulu are Weezing and Chestnut, and this thing comes in on both of those and it sets up all day. So that's kind of my thought process. I've got Volcanion here. I had to bring something to help me against Sneasel. That is why Volcanion is coming. It's Shuka-Berry, which helps me against both Excadrill and Charizard. I have to run Earth Power. I'm doing like 80% to Charizard. I have to have something there. Shuka allows me to take the Earthquake. If this dude's really smart, he's gonna run Flare Blitz, Thunder Punch, Dragon Dance, Brick Break, and totally mess up my plan, but there's not much I can do about that. If he brings Earthquake, I at least have Terrain. I have Earth Power, you know, I have Shuka-Berry to slow that down, but it's also there for Excadrill, because it gives me another response to Excadrill, because I just have such a hard time against some of these Pokemon. And then last but not least, I have Cobalion here, which is Stealth Rock, Stone Edge, Close Combat, Volt Switch. This originally was supposed to be a Swords Dance variant, but I like Volt Switch because it helps me get Sylveon and Bulu in for free and Volcanion in, which are very important to get in against certain things, because the best switch into this are like the Chestnut and the Weezing and stuff like that. I can Volt Switch, gain momentum, get into those things for free. Stealth Rock, super important for Zapdos, Charizard, and Rocky MZ Stone Edge is there again for those 2 Pokemon primarily, the Zapdos and the Charizard. Hit them really hard. I can avoid static and stuff like that. Couple other things I wanted to note. I'm using a lot of shiny sprites on the screen. It's because I don't have the HD regular ones, so even though they don't match, like I'm running regular Bulu, I'm running regular Volcanion, I have the HD sprites because they look better. If you guys hate that, I'll switch back to the low def, but I'm going to work on getting the HD sprites of the non-shiny forms, which isn't all available yet. So, pretty long-winded team builder, but that's the squad right there. Just briefly talking about what I didn't bring. Didn't bring Lopunny. I felt like with Static Zapdos, potentially Rocky Helmet, Weezing, and Chestnut, it just has a really hard time against him. I'm not bringing Nidoking. I originally had Nidoking, but again, I just felt like my weakness to Zard and my weakness to Excadrill were too high, and even though Nidoking was a great wall breaker, I'm kind of going a different route this week. Hydreigon, I was going to bring Scarf, but again, I still get hit by Excadrill's Earthquake, Mold Breaker, etc. Stack Attack was on the team until this morning. I switched it for Cobalion because I was focusing on my core strategy of trying to win with Musharna. Cobalion is better against Sneasel than Stack Attack is, and then Rotom Frost could have made the team, but again, Charizard is just such a huge threat. I didn't want to end up giving that Charizard any kind of opportunities to set up any easier than it needed to be. So that's the gist right there. Like I said, long-winded team builder, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'm gonna get connected here to Ultra, and again, our core strategy, get those rocks up, try to keep him off the field, scout out his team, hopefully he doesn't bring Sneasel, and if that's the case, then get our opportunity to get our Musharna in, set up, and then win the game. That's it, let's do it. I'm gonna get connected, and let's jump into the battle. Alright guys, we are connected to Ultra. Let's find out which 6 Pokemon he's gonna be bringing. Like I said, I think the one big thing I just don't want to see is the Sneasel, just because it kind of makes my job a lot harder. Not that Musharna is like my only way I think I could win this game, but it's definitely one of the primary ways I'm going to focus on trying to win. So I just hope I don't see that thing, but I guess we'll find out. It's kind of one of those picks where I feel like it could do work, but he may leave it off, but we'll see right now. And I don't see that, which is very good news for me. He does bring no wheezing, which is fine. Does bring the Florgus, though. I pretty much get everything else, though, so that makes me pretty happy to see that he did not bring, like I said, the Sneasel. That makes me feel good about my decision to run this Musharna set. Like I said, whether it works or not, I feel like it was a pretty cool set, so we'll hopefully make it work. But he's got Zapdos, Suicune, Chestnut, Excadrill, Florgus, and Charizard. So he has a Hazard Remover in Zapdos and Excadrill. His lead options, in my opinion, could be Chestnut. I feel like that's a really good lead for him. I could see him leading Excadrill. I could see him leading Zapdos. I like the idea of leading with my Sylveon because I feel like he might try to Spike Stack me. The other option is I like the idea of leading with my Cofagrigus because I think Toxic Spikes are really good. The thing is the Cofagrigus handles the Charizard better. Yeah, I don't know, that's tough. That's tough. Is there anything else? I mean, Cobalion's nice too as a lead because I can simply set up Stealth Rocks. And, but if he led Excadrill, that's not a good situation for me. Cofagrigus is probably the safest lead. But again, I run the risk of taking damage there from the anything that's not Charizard. So I think he leads Chestnut, Zapdos, or Excadrill. So if Chestnut, Zapdos, Excadrill, 2 of the 3, I like Sylveon. So I'm gonna go with Sylveon. If he leads Excadrill, then so be it. He's gonna get his Rock Set. That's really what that comes down to. I'm gonna make a gamble on that one. I'm gonna go with Sylveon because 2 of the 3 I like Sylveon against. If he does lead Excadrill, then I'm gonna have to make a switch. But if he leads Excadrill and he's not Scarfed, and I find that out right away, that's helpful too. So let's find out what he's gonna lead with here. Hopefully it's that Chestnut. He just tries to get up his spikes. He tries to Spike Stack me because I feel like that's a really good strategy against me. He would have like Spikes and Poison Jab. Maybe, obviously a Grass move, maybe Leech Seed or something like that, Spiky Shield. He's gonna lead with St. George, what is that? That's gonna be the Charizard, so that's not what I wanted to see, so the thing is, if he Flare Blitzes me here, he actually just like kind of puts in the work, so I'm kind of in a tough situation with my Bella. I can't afford to let Bella go down here, so I do have to switch out. I think I have to go into my King Tut, which can at the very least Trick Room, and I can try to stall out a little bit, and then maybe get Krakatoa in. So I'm going to go straight into my King Tut here because, like I said, I don't really have the best answers to this thing. He can choose to Dragon Dance here or whatever he wants to do, but I have to switch out, unfortunately. I have to go into my Cofagrigus, which at the very least can take on Charizard, okay? And he's going to be able to get his Mega Evolution off, which helps him so he doesn't take as much damage later in the game. And if he does go +1, you know, Cofagrigus can take it. I am able to go for Trick Room, which does give me a little bit of time to deal with this thing. And then I could potentially Memento. I would lose my Cofagrigus super early in the game if that happens, but let's see what happens here, because I can't just lose to Charizard. Like, this thing is such a huge threat. I don't know if I think he just Flare Blitzes, though. I don't think he sets up on turn 1, because Flare Blitz actually would knock out Sylveon there, so... But if he does just Dragon Dance, then Pro Plays to him. He's gonna just Flare Blitz, so that's fine. I can take this relatively well. It's gonna hurt, but I can take it. So, that's going to bring us down to about half. I get the Mummy, which is going to reduce his Tough Claws, and that puts me in an okay spot right now because I can take a hit a little bit better now. So, I'm thinking, and he takes a little bit of recoil damage. Not much. He's down to about 75%, or let's say, yeah, about 75%. So, I think I Trick Room here because he doesn't really have the super solid switching right now, so I think I Trick Room just in case he tries to set up. Because I know I can take another Flare Blitz. And to me, like, I want to get my T-Spikes up. I want to get a Trick Room off. At the very least, Trick Room makes it so I don't just straight up lose to Charizard. You know what I mean? At that point, Volcanion can come in and it can pressure him a little bit. With Earth Power, I can bring in, you know, a couple things. So he's going over the Toxic. So he's actually carrying Toxic, which means that he is definitely a different set than I kind of anticipated, which is okay. Like, that's totally fine. I'll get Trick Room up here, and then I can actually proceed to go for either Toxic Spikes or try to weaken him a little bit or whatever it may be. Kind of a cool set on his part to bring Toxic on his Charizard to try to break down my King Tut, but maybe he's not Dragon Dance in that case, which I'm a little surprised to see. But I definitely want to get my T-Spikes up. I think they're really worth it here, so let's go for those. With Trick Room, I'm less threatened by this thing, and I mean, I want to see more about what this Charizard is going to do, and I do have Heal Bell on my Musharna, so that helps as well. T-Spikes aren't super great against him, but 4 Pokemon are affected now that his Charizard is Mega Evolved. So that really helps me beat Suicune. It really helps me against Chestnut and things like that. And if he wants to try to attack me, then so be it. I'm not going to bother with multiple layers of T-Spikes, but, you know, we'll see what he kind of wants to do here. And if I can get a switch into my Volcanion, that could be really helpful as well. I still have turns of Trick Room and stuff like that. So we'll see what he wants to do, whether he is going to go for a Flare Blitz here, whether he's just going to switch out and say, you know what, I realize that this is, I can save my Charizard for later and have it be a little bit more effective or whatever, but I'm just going to get my T-Spikes up here. And Trick Room's really helpful for me, so I'll get my T-Spikes up. We'll see if he just attacks, if he's going to Dragon Dance. I mean, I have a hard time feeling like he's a Dragon Dance set now, so he's going to Dragon Claw. So we see Dragon Claw and Flare Blitz as his 2 move options so far. Toxic, and then I'm expecting Roost at this point, or Earthquake, one of the 2. This is where Volcanion is going to come in. I think that's a really good switch for me. I got to see how many turns of Trick Room I have still. I've got 3 turns of Trick Room. Volcanion's really, really solid here. I think it's a very good bring-in, and could definitely put in some work. So I'm definitely leaning towards a Volcanion switch in here. Even if he goes for a Dragon Claw, it's not a big deal. He's lost his Tough Claws. It's not going to do as much to me. And I think Volcanion's just a good bring-in here. He could start to pressure him. It's not like Chestnut wants to necessarily come in. So let's go Krakatoa here. We'll see if he Flare Blitzes. He's going to straight switch. Does he call that switch? He's going to go into Garuda. So maybe he predicts that switch. And he goes into his Zapdos here. So Zapdos, I don't know if he predicted that play, but Zapdos is a really good switch in here. I do have the speed priority, but I need to switch out because I cannot allow him to kind of beat me right now with that. So I still have Trick Room though, but I think I have to switch out here. So I kind of like Bella. He could just U-turn, or he could go for an Electric type move. Tauro's pretty solid here. If I predict him to U-turn, I mean, how much is he gonna? I think he's defensive Zapdos, if I had to guess. I think it'd be really stupid to let my Volcanion go down here. But I could potentially just go for a big Steam Eruption here and just get some big damage off. So I'm actually going to stay in because I think, you know, the worst thing he does to me here is goes for a Discharge. It's going to hurt. But you know what? I'm thinking I want to try to weaken this thing. So I'm going to go for the Steam Eruption. A little bit of a risky play, but we'll see. Because I don't know if he expects me to stay in here. So that's going to do over half to him. And he's going to defog and get rid of our T-Spikes. It's fine. So we see the defog. So that's fine by me. He gets rid of my T-Spikes. He definitely doesn't want those on the field. And I still have an opportunity to Steam Eruption here. Or I can Fire Blast predicting the switch. I think Steam Eruption is my best play though. I still have how many turns of Trick Room? 1 more turn. This is my final turn of Trick Room. So that's pretty good actually. So let's go for that Steam Eruption again, I think. Because getting a burn on something is pretty valuable. Even if it is the Chestnut. And we know he's got Defog on his Zapdos, which means that him setting up Stealth Rocks are less of a concern against me, because he's going to want to remove those hazards. So he really didn't like those T-Spikes, that's for sure. So we're going to have to try to find another opportunity to get those back up. But we've got this Zapdos down to about 45%. He's going to save it. I don't know if he goes Chestnut here or not. He's going to go to Vacuum, which is probably the Suicune. No, it's actually going to be the Florges. Okay, that's fine. I'll get a big Steam Eruption off on this guy. And a burn would be really nice. It would help me kind of whittle him down a little bit. So I don't get it. I don't know if he's going to Wish or what he's going to do. I think I'm going to Steam Eruption again, though. And just continue to put the pressure on this Florges. Because if he does not Wish, then I put him in a situation where I can knock him out on the following turn. If he does Wish, he's going to be forced to go for Protect to save himself. Or switch out into something that's going to take a big hit. Potentially Suicune, but either way, the Florges is weakened now. He's at about 65%. So that's pretty solid, actually. He's going to actually be faster. He's going to go for the Hidden Power. It's Hidden Power Ground, so he's going to activate my Shuca Berry. And this is a relatively offensive set here. Doesn't really do much to me. I can Steam Eruption, which is fine. And we're going to weaken this Florges even further, bring him down to a pretty low amount of health. He's actually got a Super Berry, it seems, which is really annoying for me because I just hit that Super Berry, like, exactly. We just hit the Super Berry, like, exactly, which is very annoying. Will he go for HP Ground again? I don't know. But this is definitely an offensive set. So maybe he thought a KayCreigh was coming in. I want to kind of pressure him again and just see what he wants to do. I'm going to go for the Steam Eruption again. So we saw HP Ground, not going to do a ton. You can see it did, you know, 30 damage to me. Not really that powerful of an attack coming from this thing. So, which means if he's Wish Protect Moonblast, he doesn't have Aromatherapy. He's going to Synthesis, okay. So he's not Wish. He's Synthesis instead. And that's fine. I'm getting some intel on this thing, which is good. I just want to get some insight. I missed my Steam Eruption, which really stinks because that was pretty crucial damage. I don't believe Florges gets Sludge Bomb, so this might be an opportunity to get my Tababulu in. Let me just double check. I know it's a Fairy type, so Florgus, and we know he's HP ground, so I don't think he gets any poison moves. Yeah, so I'm gonna make the play into my Tapu Bulu here, because I can substitute if he switches into Chestnut, and then I can Dazzling Gleam a couple times, and that could actually get rid of the Chestnut for me, which is kind of cool. So let's do that. I'm gonna save my Krakatoa right now, because I've already missed a couple attacks. This is obviously a very specially defensive Florgus. He either Moonblast here or goes for the HP ground again. So I'll set up the grassy terrain, and we'll see what he's gonna do. He's going to go for Hidden Power Ground again. So this is going to do pretty much nothing to me. That does approximately nothing. I'm going to get all that back anyway, so no problem. So his switch in here is probably Chestnut if I had to guess. I'm going to substitute because it kind of gives me a safe play. I don't really have to overpredict or anything. That way if he went into something like Charizard, I'm in an okay spot. So I'm just going to sub. And if he goes Chestnut, then we hit it with 2 Dazzling Gleams and hope we knock it out. Because I will definitely be faster. And if we don't knock it out, we'll be darn close. Like, he'll be super, super weakened. After Leftovers in Grassy Terrain, I'm like a 70% chance to knock out a physically defensive Chestnut with Dazzling Gleam. So that's where the T-Spikes really came in, if I could have had those. But anything he switches in here, I can at the very least Leech Seed. And now that I've seen his Charizard set, his D-Claw, Flare Blitz, Toxic, he could have Dragon Dance, but it's a little less threatening without Dragon Dance. He might have Roost as his last move, so he may be a more defensive set. I'm thinking that Excadrill, based on the composition of his team, his Excadrill is most likely Choice Scarf, if the Charizard is not a Dragon Dance variant. Because he's got to have something on his team to basically try to clean the battle. So he's going to switch. Let's see if he goes Chestnut or not. Here comes Zenipyra. And that is going to be Big Daddy Chestnut. So I'm going to get a substitute off here. And I'm going to get a lot of that health back. And I'm sure he has Poison Jab on his Chestnut. He probably assumes I can't really do much to him. I could have Nature's Madness, which I have kind of tested. He sees I have Leftovers. He knows I'm more of a bulky set. I do have Leftovers, right? I don't think I saw it activate there. So his item's been used. Yeah, El Toro has an item. Wait, I don't know. Did I not get Leftovers in Grassy Terrain? I have Leftovers. I'm sure it worked. I just wasn't paying attention. All right, I'm going to Dazzling Gleam. He probably Poison Jabs here. And we'll see if my Dazzling Gleam is going to put him in range or not. That's especially defensive Chestnut. So I'm not going to be able to knock him out here. He's going to Poison Jab, so we see the jab. I have to switch out. I cannot allow him to Poison Jab me. This is a prediction game, though. Do I go Cobalion here and threaten him out? Obviously, I could kind of scare him. Do I stay in, make a prediction? Hope he predicts wrong. I mean, I can freely substitute, though. I cannot. Yeah, so he has Leftovers. Let's make a note of that. Let's do this. He's lefties. And we saw that he was a berry, the Florgus, which really stinks because I would have knocked him out. I can substitute and see if he wants to predict. Let's sub. Because if I go Cobalion and he predicts wrong, then we're in an okay spot. So let's go for the sub here. And he goes for spikes. Okay. So he wants to set up a layer of spike. That's fine. All right. So I could have went Sylveon, but it was a little too risky. And once this Grassy Terrain's over, he's going to be in a little bit of a tougher spot. But this puts me in the 2-hit KO range that I was looking for now that we've gotten him weakened. So I'm going to Dazzling Gleam again. And he may go for a second layer of spike. I don't know, but I think he has to break my sub here. So I'm just going to D-Gleam. And that definitely puts him in range. That might have been a crit. I'm not sure. Or a high roll. That was a crit. Okay. And he's going to Poison Jab. Okay, so he's in a situation where he either lets this guy go down or whatever. I have to D-Gleam, though. I don't want to risk anything here. I really don't want to risk anything because the problem is if I let him, well, if I sub, what's my downside of subbing here if he switches? If I sub and he switches, it's not a huge deal. I've gotten this thing really weakened, so I think I sub here. He's at about 45%, 40%. Do I just D-Gleam? I mean, he loses his Grassy Terrain now. If he switches and I sub, that's the right play. If he stays in and I Dazzling Gleam, that's the right play. I don't want him to switch into something like Charizard here, and then I'm just sitting there kind of hung out to dry. I don't know if he would save this Chestnut, because he could have Synthesis is my concern. I'm going to substitute. I think it's the safest of the plays. He's going to stay in, so I should have Dazzling Gleamed. So now we know. Let's see if he spikes again. He's going to Poison Jab again. Okay, so Dazzling Gleam is my proper play. I do believe I still knock him out with Dazzling Gleam here, though. But I think he knows that I can't just keep... He doesn't want to give me that free sub, so I kind of totally understand where he's at. So I'm going to have to make a tough call here when that Charizard comes back in. As long as he doesn't Dragon Dance, though, I should be okay. But Dazzling Gleam should be able to knock him out at this range. I don't know if he saves it, but I'm gonna just Dazzling Gleam now. A little bit of an obvious play, but again, I don't think he wants to let me get my sub up. So he's gonna stay in. This should knock him out. I don't think he lives this. No, okay, good. I get a crit again. I don't think that matters though, because we were doing about 45%. Bulu kills Chestnut with D-Gleam. I think that was killing either way. So Chestnut's gone. That was a pretty big issue out of the way. You know, just because of annoying switches and stuff. But I had a lot of ways to deal with Chestnut, so a little nervous about the Charizard coming in here. I have to decide whether I'm gonna let my Cofagrigus go down or not. I cannot let him set up on me. That's gonna be the biggest thing, is don't let the Charizard click Dragon Dance. If he does, it's gonna be really problematic. Here comes St. George. That is gonna be the Charizard. Okay, so I have to decide what to do. I'm definitely switching. King Tut at the very least. As much as I really want to get up another layer of T-Spikes for his team, I just think I need to focus on other things. So I'm gonna just go to King Tut here, because if I can get rid of his Tough Claws, then at least Cobalion can come in and can go for Z Stone Edge. So, and Z Stone Edge is gonna do really well now that the Chestnut is gone. So I gotta go King Tut. If I can get rid of Tough Claws, it's really gonna help us out. And if he Dragon Dances, I need to see that move. But I think he just Flare Blitzes and knocks us out. Yeah, he's just gonna Flare Blitz. So. Zard kills Cofag with Flare Blitz. Okay. So we get rid of his Tough Claws. He's in a situation now where I can just go for the big Stone Edge now. He obviously has a Suicune and a Zapdos. I'm going to take some time to think about this play. I'm not going to click my move. I know my move, though, is 1,000,000% to go into Cobalion. 100% my move, Cobalion. 1,000,000% my move is Cobalion. So I have ways to deal with Suicune. If he brings that in, I am going to burn my Stone Edge, which kind of stinks, but I think it's worth it to just get some big damage off and kind of scare this Charizard. So I'm taking my time on this move, so it's not a super obvious play that I switched in. But I believe with the amount of health he's at, I can knock him out with Rock Z. Just taking my time on the play. All right, we'll go Cobalion here, I think. I'm gonna give it a little bit more time. I'm gonna give it a little more time. 10 more seconds. We'll give it 10 more seconds. I just want to make him think that I'm like torn on this play here. I mean, I could go Krakatoa and Earth Power, but I think that just brings in Suicune, so we're gonna go Cobalion. And I do have the Rock Z. So I'm just gonna burn my Z move right now, because I have to. If I don't Z move, I don't knock him out. And he's gotta know that. I gotta remember he's got that layer of Spike too. Just the one though, which is good. But yeah, Rock EMZ. Stone Edge does 95 to 113. Even if he's a bulky variant, still going to do a lot. So we're going to just fire off that Continental Crush. And if he stays in, awesome. If he switches, hopefully it's not into Excadrill. If it's Suicune as his defensive switch in, that's fine. I just Volt Switch on it, or I set up Stealth Rocks, one of the two. I'm doing about 30% to Suicune, which is crazy how bulky that thing is. But I have a Tapu Bulu. I have, you know, a Volcanion, I have a Sylveon, which could really pressure the Suicune. So I'm not like, as long as he doesn't start setting up Calm Minds against me, I'm okay. If he does start setting up Calm Minds against me, that's a problem, because I don't have like Toxic, but I do have Roar on my Volcanion. So if he does start setting up on me with the Suicune, I can at the very least Roar it out. So I'm probably going to prioritize Stealth Rocks if he lets me knock him out. Yes, okay, this should knock out the Charizard. This should knock him out. It's Continental Crush. It should knock him out. My calc says against Charizard is doing like 95 to 100 plus. He's at about 75. He has to be like max attack to be able to live this, or max HP. And even then, I don't think he lives. So I'm pretty sure even a max HP set goes down. This Continental Crush should knock out the Charizard and remove one of the big, massive threats from this battle for me, which would be very, very helpful. And it's going to do just that. So Cobalion with a nice kill there. So Cobalion kills Zard with Rock Z. Okay, good. So we got rid of the Charizard. That was one of the bigger threats. It did cost me my Cofagrigus, but you know what? Cofagrigus did a great job there. Its main role was to stop the Charizard, and it kind of did that, right? It did it enough. It did it enough. So we take that. So he's got an Excadrill, which is, I think, Scarfed at this point. Have to be very careful about that Scarf Drill, because my switch-ins to it are very limited. I have Bulu and Sylveon, which, if he's Scarfed, he can't hit both. Cobalion's still really good for that. I think he goes, if I'm him, he goes Suicune here, I think, or Scarf Drill. And here's the thing, if he does go Scarf Drill, I am going into Tapu Bulu. I'm gonna let him knock me out if he does, and then I'm going into Musharna and I'm pulling the trigger on our Musharna set. And we're just gonna hope that that Zapdos does not have Roar. As long as the Zapdos, the Suicune don't have Roar, Musharna wins the game. Those are big ifs though. Those are pretty big ifs, so. Those are pretty big ifs. I do like Rock still in this match because of the Zapdos. The Florges doesn't bother me at all at this point. HP Ground, Synthesis, doesn't bother me at all. I could set up all over that. He's probably got Moonblast. I don't know if I saw anything else. And he doesn't have an item anymore. I think he's got to go Suicune here. Here comes Purity. That's a Suicune. Okay. I can also pressure him with my Bulu right now too, if he's not speedy. So I can get Rocks up here, which helps me chip down the Zapdos, which could be very useful. Or I just Volt Switch for damage. I think I'm gonna Volt Switch for damage. I think the risk of getting burned is too high. I really don't want to risk getting burned right now. So I'm just gonna Volt Switch into my Bulu, I think. Or my Volcanion, one of the two. So let's go for Volt Switch. Get a little chip damage off on this thing. Kind of find out what set he's running. He's 75%. So let me see if I can get some info on that damage there real quick before I make a decision. Information's always important. This could tell me if he's a fast set or not. That is an offensive Suicune. That is an offensive Suicune. He took about 25%. Yeah, he's offensive. He's definitely fast and offensive. So that's very interesting. It's very interesting. That's very interesting. What do I need Krakatoa for? I don't think I need Krakatoa anymore. Yeah? I mean, do I need Krakatoa? I don't think he Ice Beams there. I could go Altoro. He's an offensive Suicune. Let's go Altoro. I can take an Ice Beam from him, even if he's offensive. He could burn me, though. If he burns me, that's really annoying. He doesn't really have the best switch-ins to Altoro now. Leech Seed is really nice, though, if I can get a Leech Seed off, but he could burn me. Krakatoa is pretty solid here, but it can't do anything back besides Roar. Tough call. All right, I'm going to Altoro. Could be obvious, but I think it's my best answer to Suicune. But he's definitely offensive. So he could have a Z move as well. We have to keep that in mind. He could be like IZ. He's going to sub. Okay, so that was one of the sets I was worried about. Is Subtoxic. And I think that's what he is. Subtoxic leftovers. Yep. He's Subtoxic lefties. So he's going to go for Toxic here, I think. Which is fine. I can roar him out with Volcanion. So I'm thinking I just go Volcanion and roar him out. Because then I don't have to deal with it. Or I go Bella and I just try to hit him with a Hyper Voice. And just take the Toxic and then just Hyper Voice him. He could be Protect too. But we can go through it at least with Hyper Voice. So let's play aggressive and go Bella here. Because Bella isn't as needed at this point in the match. I'm assuming he's going to Toxic though. Or Ice Beam, I guess. But he's definitely speedy Suicune. He's going to Toxic. He hits it. Okay. Yeah, he's probably got Protect as well. The nice thing is his substitute doesn't matter with Sylveon because I can go through the substitute with Hyper Voice. And knowing that this is a more kind of, what is it called? A more speedy Suicune, we're actually going to do a lot with Hyper Voice. There's a chance we could actually knock him out from this range, so I'm going to go for it. He could have Protect. I think he does have Protect. But that means he could be mono attacking. Yeah, so he is Protect. But that means he could be mono attacking, which means he's going to be in a situation where, like, yeah, he can Protect Stall me, but he's still going to take Hyper Voice eventually. And I like my Sylveon's chance of winning this 1v1 here, I think. That Toxic damage is going to start to rack up, but that means his last attack is probably Scald. And he can poison my Volcanion, but I can at the very least roar him out. So I'm going to just go for the Hyper Voice here and see if we can do a lot of damage to him. And once my Terrain is gone, that's going to help too. But his Scald isn't going to do much to me, so. But this is a very fast Suicune. And this is the set I actually kind of thought he was going to bring. It's kind of a lame set, if I'm being honest. It's Sub, Protect, Toxic. It's like super stally, as if his team wasn't fat enough, but I definitely can understand why he brought it. I definitely think it's the best set against me. But now I'm able to Hyper Voice and do a lot of damage to him, and it's going to go through that substitute, and it's going to bring him down quite a bit, actually. It's going to bring him down pretty low. And he's going to Scald this time, not surprising, and then I'll be able to Protect on the following turn. Let's see how much this does. Does an okay amount, but not anything super concerning right now. My Hyper Voice is going to come off here and do a lot of damage to him. That's what I like to see. Alright. And he's going to get all this health back. He's going to be able to protect, but I can knock him out on the following Hyper Voice now. The problem is I'm taking poison damage. He's going to definitely protect right now. And then I'm going to have to take another hit later. So considering I know he's going to protect right now, what do I want to do? Do I just want to go Krakatoa and then he can poison me? And then next time I just bring in Bella? Or do I want to take a Scald and another 2 turns of poison? I think he's going to knock me out. I think I got to go Krakatoa here. I'm going to go Krakatoa. I got to reset that poison. I'm going to reset that poison. Musharna actually should be able to set up all over him. He's going to protect, obviously. Okay. And we're going to get him. This set is so annoying, dude. Super annoying. He's at about 60% now, 55%. But he's still in range. I'm just going to roar him out now. He can't Scald. All he can do is Toxic me, so I'm just going to roar him out. Get rid of that Substitute. And that's going to allow my Sylveon later to beat him, hopefully. Now that we know what his set is. I'm assuming he Toxics here. If I had to guess, he just clicks Toxic. Because I still haven't broken his sub. He's going to Toxic. He hits it. That's fine, but I'll roar him out. No big deal. Krakatoa is doing a good job here roaring him out. He obviously could just bring Suicune back in, but I've got him in a situation where at the very least I'm going to be able to roar him out here. So, let's do that. And what's coming in? It's going to be the Florges. Okay. So, not what I wanted to see, but that's fine. I'm thinking I'm going to go right into my Tapu Bulu here. And set up a Substitute. I'm going to go right into my Tapu Bulu and I'm going to try to set up a Substitute. Get that terrain back up, which is annoying, but for his Suicune, but it's okay. He could Toxic me. I was already Toxic, so I don't think he Toxics again. He's gonna Moonblast. Okay. He just wants damage. That does a lot. It actually does a good amount. It does a good amount. But we can take. No problem. All right. I think I Leech Seed. I don't think I want to sub here. He could go Zapdos, but I don't really know what Zapdos is gonna do to me. I think I'm just gonna actually Horn Leech. Or do I Leech Seed? Leech Seed's kind of good too. Let's Leech Seed. He's actually faster. This is a really fast Florges, man. He brought a lot of fast stuff. I'm at 94 down to 39. I missed the Leech Seed, which is huge. That's huge. That's 55 health I was at. I'm gonna be at 61. I have to hope I can live this. I have to go for how many turns of Grass Terrain do I have? I have 3 turns of Terrain. I have to Horn Leech here. That stinks so bad. That Leech Seed was huge. I needed that damage. I needed that damage, that health back. That's gonna actually mess up my Bulu pretty hardcore here. I live though. And this Horn Leech is gonna hurt, so. Yeah, that'll give me some health back. I need to be at least 55. That's 52. Plus all the terrain and everything. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. He can obviously Synthesis Stall me here. If he wanted to. I need Toro to be around. How many turns? I have 2 turns left of terrain. I can Horn Leech and knock him out here. Or do I Leech Seed? Assuming he's Synthesis. I think he's Synthesis. I'm gonna Horn Leech because I think the guaranteed health is more important. He's got Moonblast. I actually could knock him out here. We live. This should knock him out. Yes. Good stuff, Bulu. Bulu kills Florges with Horn Leech. Okay, Florges is gone. Whew. Okay. He's got a Zapdos, a Suicune, and an Excadrill left. I have to keep my Bulu around because I need to be able to set up. I know this. It's only if the Zapdos has. Does Zapdos have Roar? At this point, I'm gonna guess probably not. Probably not. So I think I need to. What do I need to do here? I mean, Bulu looks really good against the Suicune, obviously. Even though he can sub-stall me. Here comes Maryland. That's the Excadrill. Yeah, here comes Drill. Okay. I'm just going to switch Krakatoa in, I think. I feel like I don't really lose anything by doing that. If he Earthquakes, that's fine. I don't think he does. I'm gonna go Krakatoa though. That's another thing. I mean, if I get a Skull Burn on that Suicune, that's really clutch too. I just need to like weaken that Suicune enough. I have to keep Toro around because I need that Grassy Seed for later. We'll go Krakatoa. We'll find out if this thing's Scarfed or not. It's gonna Iron Head. If he stays in, that's Iron Head. Okay, that's fine. If he stays in and Earthquakes, then he's definitely not Scarfed, right? That's a good way to tell. I can make a prediction here, but I don't think it's worth it. I think I just Steam Eruption. Yeah, because the Suicune's not that scary because I just roar it out. So I'm gonna Steam Eruption. He has Drill Run. He misses. Steam Eruption, don't miss. Yes! Dude, why are you not he's not running Earthquake. Oh my god. Yes, huge kill for me. Volcanion kills Excadrill with Steam Eruption. Dude, that was huge. That was huge. That was massive, actually. That was actually massive. Actually massive. So, he ran Drill Run instead of Earthquake because of the threat of Grassy Terrain, which is a really good bring on his part. I get super lucky as a result, though. And he's going to miss his Drill Run, which puts us at a huge advantage in this match. And he just said, what a whack beep game to me on Discord. So I don't think he's super stoked about it. This game's not over, though. It's not over. Obviously, Suicune is very annoying at Toxic Stalling. Zapdos is obviously coming in, I'm assuming, next. I just have to let Zapdos knock me out here. It doesn't really matter. I have no reason to worry about this Zapdos. I think I just let him knock me out. I get Altoro in, and I think we're in a good spot. Right? Is there any way I mess this up? I mean, I think I don't need Krakatoa, so I'm going to Steam Eruption. He's going to knock me out, I'm sure, with Discharge or T-Bolt or whatever he's got. But this is a weakened Zapdos, too, so I can Stone Edge still with Cobalion. Or just come in with Volt Switch. If he goes Suicune. He's going to Discharge. He does have Discharge. Okay. He's going to knock me out. Discharge. So Zapdos kills Volk with Discharge. Okay, so my play here is I'm going to go Altoro because I'm going to set up the terrain. And there's a chance that this Zapdos can knock me out with whatever he's going to go for, Discharge, whatever. He could have a flying move. He could have HP flying. He could have HP ice. He could have anything. I just want to get my terrain up, and I'm going to go for the Leech Seed here. Is that my best play? I think so. I'm going to Leech Seed. If he knocks me out with Zapdos, it's fine. I mean, I would assume he's got like U-Turn, Discharge, Defog, Roost. Maybe Toxic. I don't think he has HP Poison. I feel like he'd be more likely to carry some sort of coverage for Stack Attacka instead of whatever. But I don't think he has Roar now, that's for sure. So Musharna should be able to Calm Mind. And that's the beauty. If the Suicune Toxics Musharna, it's going to be status back with Synchronize, and then I can Heal Bell off the damage. And Musharna can just win the game as we planned. So we're going to Leech Seed here because it's 1,000,000% my play. 1,000,000% my play. He's going to Hidden Power. Is it Ice? Or what is it? He actually doesn't even knock me out. I hit the Leech Seed. It was awesome. I don't know what he's going to go for. I think my play is to switch Musharna now, though. Because I've seen his set. Discharge, Defog, HP. I guess the only issue with switching Musharna here is if he... I want him to knock me out is what I want. I want him to knock me out. But I don't know if he's going to. I'm actually at higher health now. I feel like he could Roost. I could just go Cobalion, actually. Just Volt Switch. In case he switches. I mean, I can't really do much damage to him. I guess I could Degleam, but I feel like he could set up on me. I don't think he discharges. I'm going to go Reverie. I'm just going to make the Musharna play. Either way, I should be able to beat the Suicune, I think. I still have my Bulu. Alright, let's go Reverie. I think this might have been... I don't know if this was the right play, but... I just don't want to get paralyzed. Just gonna hit Power. Okay. I get a lot of health back. I get my Leech Seed, which is nice. It's gonna whittle him down. He's got HP and he's got Discharge. I just don't want to get Discharge Para, dude. I feel like that's a mistake if I allow him to Discharge Para me here. It's a mistake if I get Discharge Parried. It's like actually a big misplay if I do. I don't need the Grassy Seed boost really. But if I get Discharge Parrot, I could lose the game. That's the thing I'm concerned about right now. I could actually lose if I Discharge Parrot here. I guess it's a slight concern. I don't think he goes Discharge though. If I Call Mind, he Discharge Paras. I can't risk that. I need Musharna because Musharna Synchronized just beats. I'm gonna go Cavalion, dude. I shouldn't have done that play. I think I just made a misplay, but I don't want to risk it, dude. Like, what does El Toro do? I'm gonna go Cavalion. I'm just gonna start Stone Edging, dude. I don't want to risk losing this game because of that. I know Musharna beats Suicune. He discharges. If I don't get parried, we're definitely good. Okay, good. I just like didn't want to risk that. Oh my god, I didn't want to risk that. Okay, how much am I doing in close combat? I don't know if I want to miss. Like, I don't want to miss. 16 to 20. I'm gonna close combat. Should kill. He's 20%. I know, he's 10%. Is each tech 5 or 10? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 5, 10. He's 10. I'm gonna close combat. This should knock him out. Good. Okay, good. Okay. He's got stat 8, that's fine. I don't really care about that. Okay, so here's the thing. Musharna should just be able to beat Suicune because if he Toxics, he's gonna get Synchronized Toxic back. So I believe Musharna just wins the game here. I believe. I'm just gonna Volt Switch, I think, or just Hard Switch into Sylveon. I don't think it matters. Well, maybe it does matter. I don't know. I just don't want to throw this game, like, for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. I just don't want to make a stupid mistake that cost me the game. And I almost did with that Musharna, because if he had Discharge Parrot Musharna, like, one of my ways I guarantee the win is if he... I'm assuming Synchronized goes through substitutes, though. I don't know. I'm assuming he does. Yeah, Synchronized can affect a Pokemon behind a substitute. So, yes, Musharna does beat Suicune at this point, because if he Toxics me, he also gets Toxicked. Unless it doesn't work that way. The Synchronize, copy, pass, Toxic, or is it regular Poison? I think it might just be normal Poison, I'm not sure. But I'm gonna go Musharna here at this point anyway, I think. He's gonna Scald, right? I don't want to allow him to get his I think I actually can knock him out with a close combat. Or at least break his sub. Yeah, I'm gonna close combat. If he knocks me out, it's fine. Doesn't really matter. He's gonna Scald. This should knock me out. It doesn't actually. And I get a close combat off, which is nice. That's very crucial damage for my Sylveon. Very nice. And honestly, like, just keeping him from being able to, you know, sub multiple times is really nice here. I don't really care if he knocks me out at this point. It doesn't really matter. I mean, differential's a thing, but I'm not going to worry about differential over this. I don't want to let him have a substitute. So I'm going to close combat just in case. Alright, so Suicune kills Cavalion with Scald. Okay. Now, all I have to do is I'm pretty sure Sylveon can take a hit and just Hyper Voice and knock him out here. I'm pretty sure. Based on the health I'm at. What am I at? I think so. I think so. Or do I go Musharna? I might go Musharna. Because like I said, if he Toxics me, then I'm in a situation where I just win anyway. So I'm going to go Musharna. I'm going to show off the fancy Musharna set. I guess if he burned me, that would be the issue. If he burned me, but then he can't 1v1 me, I don't think. So I'm going to Call Mind. If he Scald burned me, I guess that would be a play. Instead of Toxic me. But he has to substitute, and then I can heal off the damage on the protects. Like, if he burns me, it's not as big of a deal. He is going to Toxic me. This is going to pass the Toxicon. It's going to guarantee the win for us. So, Musharna doesn't end up getting the sweep. I think I could have got the sweep with Musharna, I really do. I held it in the back to be safe. Obviously, that Excadrill play was big. I think we could have won the game either way, though, if I'm being totally honest, because my play there would have been after, like, I know that crit or that miss on the drill run was massive, and like I totally understand why my opponent would be frustrated about that. But simultaneously, I do feel like we could have won the game for sure either way. So he's gonna take toxic damage. I think that was actual poison, like toxic damage, not the full one. I don't know if he. I'm just gonna show my set and show him that this game's over. I'm gonna heal Bell here in case he protects. He's gonna Scald. That's fine. But I'm +1. You can see how little that's going to do, and we can just heal Bell. And I'll see if this Toxic is going to kind of rack up here, but I'll show my full set. So, yeah, man, that works out, dude. I'll take the W, man. I needed to bounce back this week for sure, and definitely against a tough opponent. A little bit of hacks, obviously. I got a couple crits in there that mattered for sure. That is Toxic damage. Okay, good. But the real thing was, you know, I don't want to delay this match anymore. I'm just going to go for the stored power now at this point. You know, the real thing was, even with that Excadrill miss, you know, I was going to let my Volcanion go down at that point. It's clear to me that he had nothing to deal with this Musharna set if I were to have set up. So I think we would have had the game either way, which is really cool to think about. Like, we played really, really well. I'm proud of the moves that I made, and I know my opponents can be frustrated, but they shouldn't be. You know, they played really well, and, you know, I've been on the wrong side of this kind of Pokemon stuff too, so it definitely stinks when it happens to you. Like, I totally get it, but Ultra, I promise you we'll get a rematch one day, man. But Musharna's gonna pick up the kill there. So Musharna kills Suicune with Toxic synchronized damage. So very cool there. That's a nice 3-0 win. You know, like I said, that Excadrill miss was huge. Definitely stinks. I missed a Steam Eruption. I totally know what it's like. Didn't matter as much, but still. You know, but I think that Musharna set was going to put in the work, man. I really do. So, props to my opponent for that game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be back next week, hopefully picking up another W. And I'm just stoked to get on the win streak, man. That's good. We needed that win. We needed that one. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that like button. My name is Dan. I also go by aDrive, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.